We are continuing our Truck Talk series here on Everyday Kentucky with H&A Law, and today Jon Hollan joins me, and we are going to talk about truck company and truck driver medical issues.
Yeah, thank you for having us again. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for joining me. So tell me a little bit about truck driver medical issues.
So this is a topic that I've encountered far too often in my career, and it's one that sticks with me because of how devastating the impact typically is. A question I get asked a lot is, John, what does it really take to be a commercial truck driver? And candidly, it's very few things. And one of those is a medical card or medical clearance from a doctor. And it makes sense. So, as we've talked about before, these are very, very large vehicles. They're often up to 80,000 pounds, 70 feet long. The consequences can be devastating. So having a driver that's been medically cleared to drive and operate those vehicles across the country, it's very important.
So if you have a medical incident while driving one of these trucks, how does that go about when you have a crash?
So unfortunately, one of the problems that we see far too often, I was dealing with it this past week and this past month quite intensively, is there is an issue, and I don't want to say it's a created issue, but there can be a defense in these cases about a sudden emergency or a sudden medical emergency. And oftentimes what we find, unfortunately, when we get into these cases and we get a medical file, is there was nothing sudden about it. So, we will have a driver, or we will see a company that had a driver with a long track record of either not having a medical clearance card or having a very short window. So the card can go up to 2 years. If you're very healthy, clean bill of health, you can get a card that puts you on the road for 2 years. Sometimes on the other end, that might be 90 days, and it might be 90 days that doesn't get extended beyond that. The company will get the results of those tests. They have the duty and the obligation to have the clearance, understand that they have properly cleared drivers on the road. And sadly, one of the things that we see is every red flag that there can be is ignored. And it is the most, when you take an 80,000 pound vehicle and a driver that does have a medical issue, the consequences are so devastating. It is what leads to human loss. And when I think of the worst cases I've ever seen, the biggest devastation I've ever seen to families, medical issues are unfortunately a very, very high cost.
So if someone finds themselves in one of these situations, how do they get in contact with you and your law firm?
So we can be reached directly here in Lexington at 859-888-8000. Our website is www.semijustice.com. Our Lexington office is 620 West Main Street. Our offices are also located in Louisville, and we're handling cases all across Kentucky.
Well, thank you so much, John, for giving us this information and all that you have been doing through these truck talks.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Keep it right here on Everyday Kentucky.